This last week, Rosanna Pansino decided to take to Twitter to reveal a negative experience that she had with MrBeast. I'm going to remove the context of what the situation was actually about and let you guess what her negative experience was. Thank you for making me feel not alone. This has all been overwhelming and a lot to process today. I was scared to tell my story for a long time because of how much hate others have gotten in the past for speaking up about their own experiences. In the hours since posting my story, I have received at least 3 other messages from female creators who have had similar experiences with MrBeast and those around him. That will be their story to tell if they choose to, but is making me realize that I'm not as alone as I thought I was. Thank you for all the immense support. Words cannot describe how empowering and healing the last 24 hours has been. The amount of DMs I'm receiving from people with similar stories. Please know that you are not alone. You are seen and your experiences are valid. Ah yes, downplaying women's survival stories to throw a jab on Twitter. Stay classy, Keem, means I've finally made it. If you have no idea what she's talking about, there are certain context clues that you might associate with other situations that we've seen. Certain words and phrases that have been used in other experiences that other women have had. For example, making me feel not alone. Overwhelming process, support, empowering, healing, survival story, female creator. If you had no idea what she was talking about, you would have assumed that this is a Me Too story. The language she used frames this as a story of an SA survivor coming out and speaking about the mistreatment that they've received at the hands of a far more powerful creator. But what was her experience? MrBeast lied and edited me out of the top 3 in Creator Games 3. What? I'm not reading this all out, by the way. You can pause it if you want to see it. This is the initial tweet that she made, her debut statement, if you will. The only relevant part of it is, I placed 3rd, Quackity placed 2nd, and Zach placed 1st. This is what actually happened. Despite Jimmy editing out the only female in the top 3, I was proud of what I had achieved. She played a game of hide and seek. She placed 3rd. The video edited it to make it look like she placed 4th. Who cares? This is Keem's tweet that she quote tweeted with about women's survival stories. Her statements are written like a Me Too statement. She's talking about not getting credit from MrBeast for getting her 3rd place in hide and seek. My sentiments exactly. Yes, it must suck in some way for you to film for like 24 hours and not gotten the credit you believed that you deserved, but why are we making this a women's issue? I'll now read for you the part of the "thank you for making me feel not alone" statement that I blocked out. Also, unbeknownst to me, Quackity also told the same story previously on a live stream. He was also confused as to why they edited him out of the top 3. So it's not a problem with just female creators, as you state later on, because Quackity is a man. I'm personally offended and infuriated that Rosanna has decided to take words and phrases from the Me Too movement that has legitimately aided women in feeling more empowered to speak up about their experiences of SA and applied it to her situation of being edited out of a top 3 in a hide-and-seek YouTube game. It is not even a case of women in the workplace being disempowered because Rosanna has millions of subscribers. You can't even conflate this to a workplace situation because it's not the case of a woman being disadvantaged and not being offered the same opportunities as her equally qualified male counterparts, because she has a thriving channel of her own. She has things that she can do on her own that will make her successful. She is not dependent on MrBeast for success, unlike women with their employers who they are dependent on for success and are discriminated against based on their sex. This is the height of a word I dislike, which is privilege. I generally think that the overgeneralization of the term privilege can be problematic when we don't look at extraneous variables about an individual's life that may mean that their privilege isn't actually effective. We can talk about that another day, but this is literally the most privilege I've ever seen. What more do you want? You have a channel with millions of subscribers, you make bank off of YouTube. You really want that extra credit from MrBeast, who, by the way, did not even edit that video. You genuinely believe that MrBeast was sat behind the scenes, rubbing his hands together, going, oh yeah, let's edit that female out of the top 3. We can't have a female in the top 3 of this hide and seek video. We can't have that. There was 50 hours of raw footage that you have demanded to be put back out there into the public eye. I'm sure something will have slipped at some point with 50 hours of footage. And most recently, Rosanna has posted this tweet. I would like to apologise to MrBeast. I should have expressed my feelings privately and handled things directly. I will be removing all of the posts where I talk about creator games and Jimmy. I will be honest in that the thousands of yeet threats I've received today are a contributing factor, but I do also sincerely hear the feedback from so many of you. This is a non-apology because Rosanna isn't actually addressing why the way she expressed her feelings was wrong, that she was evoking language from a very serious, very real experience that women suffer and applying it to herself, and by proxy applying it to Jimmy by making out that he's this evil, terrible person with those connotations associated to him by using that language. You also aren't apologizing to the SA survivors whose language you appropriated for your own experience that was not SA related at all. And in this apology, you also mentioned that the thousands of yeeting threats you've received are a contributing factor, like, boo-hoo you. And I will say, yes, I think this situation is a nothing burger and you should not have received any threats of any kind about this. But by stating this, you've also perpetuated yourself further into the victim mold that you do not belong to in this situation. This was an entire nothing burger that you literally could have just gone to Jimmy and said, hey, this was kind of something that I feel is a dick move and I don't like the way that you did it, and then you could have figured this out together, rather than going out there and using language that is associated with SA survivors and making it a mountain out of a molehill. This is infuriating. It's 2023. People are out there risking their lives every single day for good causes. There are tragedies happening across the world, words that I cannot use because YouTube will in fact strike me down, and this is what you've decided to pick up the banner for you in a game of hide and seek? This is a rant video full and through. There's nothing educational here. It is purely fueled by rage and disappointment, and I hope it was at least mildly entertaining, and I will see you guys in a future video. Every time I say this, I hope it to be true, but I hope it's a happier video, but we all know the likelihood of that is very slim. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.